Brother Branham was no doubt the greatest prophet of our times, and arguably the greatest of all time. Arguably, in the sense that there are many who, though they agree that in our generation there has never risen anyone to equal him, still think that can't be compared to major Bible prophets like Moses, Isaiah, and Jeremiah, or the New Testament apostle to the Gentiles, Paul. Now we may debate the merits of these arguments all day, but that's not the reason for this presentation before you, saints of God. Allow me to talk about events of our times that have been made clear by prophecy. Now I would have dug deep in the Bible to highlight some of the events spoken of in the Bible which have happened, and we understand them better now. Examples of the moral decay we are currently witnessing: children being disobedient to parents, people being lovers of pleasure, the current spike in homosexuality, and even the third world wars. It's happening, it's happening, it's happening before our eyes. All these events are made clear as we read the Bible prophecies about them. Now I'm not going to look at the Bible prophecies, but I'm going to look at some of the outstanding prophecies by the prophet of the age, Brother Branham. I won't look at the common ones that we all know, but I'm going to look at the three that are clear before us, yet easy to overlook. Prophecy number 1. The war will not be settled in Korea. Quoted from the spoken word, the angel of the Lord, 510502. Paragraph 11 reads, open quotes, "Now remember this. Now this is not the Lord speaking. This is your brother, Brother Branham, and the best of my knowledge. Now, just remember this and watch it close. We are in for the end time. Watch geographically where your war is coming out. Watch the Gog up there coming down in Turkey, and so the battles will not be settled in Korea, but over there in Palestine. We are near." Close quote. When the prophet said this in 1951, there were threats of war between USA and Korea. But the prophet clearly said that's not where it will be settled, but in Palestine. The fears of war came again in recent times. This time with the supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, threatening nuclear war. Many feared that it would be the end, but alas, the word of the prophet jumped from the pages, and those who read were reminded that the war will not be settled in Korea. Indeed, peace treaties were signed, and many were surprised, but to those aware of the prophecies of the spoken word and their accuracy, these events became clearer as they unfolded. Prophecy number 2. Watch when Russia goes for that oil. Quoted from the spoken word, the angel of the Lord, 510502. Paragraph 22 reads, open quotes, "You remember, church, that we are living in the best day that you've ever will live in. Right now, until Jesus comes. It shall gradually, not gradually, but rapidly get worse and worse. When Russia goes down there to get that oil, look out! That's all she needs. That's what the prophet said it would do, and we are ready for it then." Close quote. Now I would have loved to comment on this one, as we see how events have unfolded in Israel and Syria. But let me leave this one and a clearer picture is painted before us. Prophecy number 3. Civilization will go back to China. Quoted from the spoken word, hearing, recognizing, acting on the word of God, 60-0221. Paragraph 200 reads, open quotes, "I said, look, Fred, let's take it by nature. God works in his nature. Look what happened. The sun rose in the east. that the oldest civilization we have is China. We all know that. The oldest civilization we have is China. Alright? And civilization has moved westward all along. And now where would you live if you left the west coast? Going straight across. Exactly. We are at the end. The Bible said, the prophet said, closed quote. Another quotation from the spoken word, the end time sign said, 620319, open quotes, paragraph 80 reads, all you Bible readers know that what happened? Civilization traveled from the east to the west. China is the oldest civilization we have. Civilization began in the east. It went with the sun traveling west. Where is it now? The west coast. If it goes any further, it's back east again. See what I mean? Close quotes. Now in all these quotations I have given, the prophet is clear that if civilization will continue after it left the west coast, it would go nowhere else but back to China. When he said these things, China was a poor nation, having just liberated itself from the shackles of Japan. In the year 1962, when the prophet said this, the GDP for China was 47 billion, with GDP per capita at $71. That year, the economy shrank by 5.58%, as if to prove the word wrong. Now fast forward to 2020. China's nominal GDP is now 14 trillion, only second to that of America, and it is tipped to overtake America by 2028. Its per capita GDP has jumped to $10,500, and it has pulled more than 1 billion people out of poverty. In purchasing power parity terms, it's now the largest economy at 24 trillion, having overtaken USA, which stood at 20 trillion in the same year, 2020. China is now the wealthiest nation in the world, with a net worth of 120 trillion, ahead of America, which is now second with a net worth of 90 trillion. China now boasts of the largest speed train rail, leading technological advances, and it recently landed a rover on Mars, becoming the third country to achieve such a feat and the only second to have a safe landing. In conclusion, allow me to say this. We may say a lot about China, but the statistics proves what is going on. Prophecy has once again flashed the touchlight on events happening before our eyes. Civilization is indeed going back east, and whatever the West is doing to stop China, prophecy is currently against America in all sense. And if they should give respect where it is due, they should admit that indeed there was a great prophet in their midst, and start doing what he said in those books, because the spoken word has proved to be the only recording that is consistent with events that are unfolding before us.